Instacart support line. Please stay on the line while we connect you with a representative. This call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. Please stay on the line after your call to take a quick one-question survey.
Thank you so much for calling Instacart. You are through to Precious. Can I start by taking your full name along with your phone number, please?
Jesse Heikla, 705-805-0138.
How can I assist you today, Jesse?
Well, if you take a look at my file, you're going to see all the hell I've been through, all the customer service calls I've made, all the mistakes your company has made. I'm waiting for your legal team presently to call me back, but we have another issue. So I got back the refund for the order.
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem. I can't trust your staff to shop for my order because your staff are taking people's orders, going to Instacart, putting them in, and seeing how much the tip is. And then, if you're giving them half the tip, they're doing half the work. They have Facebook groups where they're pledging not to give anybody good service unless they get a $10 tip or more.
My goodness.
And because of this, your shopper left behind 11 items that were available in stock. Now, even though I've got my money back, right? The fact of the matter was I was supposed to get those 11 items, and the only reason I did it is because your shopper decided to stop shopping and then lie to Instacart and say those 11 items weren't in stock. There was actually 12. There was actually 12, right? I called the wholesale club and confirmed 11 of the 12 items were in stock, and the only item that currently was in stock was the garlic, the granulated garlic. So here's the big problem. For me, a disabled person, to go from my house to wholesale club, get the items that I was supposed to get so I can make the meals that I'm supposed to be eating, is going to cost me in taxis $48.
My goodness.
And I worked over 30, 40 hours on the phone just to get back my refund. There was no satisfaction ever met from this order. The order doesn't even count as delivered because he didn't drop it at my door. The order had to spend an hour outside in the freezing cold. And during the 3 days that I was dealing with your company, out of stress, I shit myself. So I'm still waiting for the legal team to get back on this matter. But the problem still remains. I have no meals to make because you guys disregarded me for 3 days. And you also cost me the $50 thing of beef because I could not separate it. You had my money in limbo, and I have no way to get out of my home. So when you finally did give me some money back, I finally bought the things I needed to. I opened up the tube of beef to only realize it had gone bad. Now, beef is supposed to stay good 2 days after the best before on the package. This was 2 days after the best before on the package.
My goodness.
So now I'm out the beef that I was supposed to be able to keep as a courtesy.
The courtesy.
Right? Because he didn't deliver my groceries to my door. He didn't complete my order. He didn't do any due diligence in my order. He showed massive disrespect towards a disabled person that can't leave his home under normal circumstance. I have PAD of the left hip, which means there's no cartilage between the hip bone and the socket of my femur. They rub together. Every step I take, it literally takes a little bit more out of me to the point one day where I'm going to have fusion of the hip. That means the ball is going to fuse to the socket. I live in Sudbury, Ontario. Last time I was at my hospital, I vowed never ever to go back. They were talking about sending a drug addict home to go commit what they have affectionately called drugicide. Now, I can't condone ever going into a place where doctors are just going to let people die because they took a vow. So I have a very hard life as it is, and dealing with Instacart since the 29th on my order. Well, here's the big problem. Here's the big problem. I'm all over your Facebook group. I've found hundreds of messages in the last month of people being treated absolutely horrible by Instacart. I've done some investigations of my own into Instacart's finances. And it would seem your CEO really doesn't care about Instacart as a corporation. Because instead of instituting a program to properly train drivers or come up with a way to ensure orders are actually the orders they are, she's decided to basically cut the customer service policies with both drivers and customers. So we got people that should get satisfaction under the guarantee who are being denied. We have drivers who are having their accounts abruptly shut off, and we have other drivers who are receiving no orders at all. Now, I don't know if Instacart knows exactly what they're in for, because I don't know if your CEO has decided to watch my videos or anything. But here's the big problem, like the big problem. I don't let go. I never let go. Somebody wrongs me, I will make sure that I am satisfied at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yes. You and I are the same.
And
completely understand.
The biggest issue is every time my matter gets escalated, it's not being escalated to corporate. I'm not hearing back from corporate. There is no way to contact corporate. That is a huge, huge problem, because that creates a disconnect between customer service and anybody that can do anything about customer service. If there's no way to escalate that customer service is the issue and you have to call customer service, I can't be assured that anything they say they're escalating is actually being escalated. Because if I worked at customer service and I didn't have any way to contact corporate and people were complaining about me, I'm not going to be putting in a complaint against myself. And that's what it seems like. It seems like there's only one person in the call centers that's actually able to call corporate. And he doesn't come to the phone. Do you know the management structure you're working under is actually like they stole it from call centers that scam old people? You have the callers who do the scamming. You have the pit boss who watches the callers. And then you have the head. That's the guy getting all the scam money. And then he gives a few dollars to everyone and calls it a day. When Instacart tells me that I'm not getting a refund and that my shopper did this work and I can go SOL, that's the same as the pit boss inside a scam call center pressuring their employees to steal more money. If somebody's going to be part of a conversation, they shouldn't be standing behind you. They should pick up a headset and get on the call. I do not take it kindly when somebody, a third party, is manipulating things from behind the scenes. If your agents are not trained properly to do their jobs, then what good is it? Why would you need a pit boss? There should be a clear-cut path to do everything with the customer service agent you are talking, and if not, the matter should be escalated to a corporate officer who's going to pick up the phone and deal with it.
And deal with it right away.
Because, like, I'm telling you, like, I bought enough stuff to make a giant chili, a bunch of pasta sauces. I bought a 50-pack of containers so I could make up all that food and freeze it so I could eat. I've been eating nachos. That's the only thing I had. I had salsa, sour cream, cheese, and nacho chips. That's been my meal now for 2 days. The 3 days I was fighting with you guys, I didn't even eat. I didn't leave my room. I focused in on trying to get this fixed because
Resolution,
the
yeah.
stuff that I did get wasn't enough to complete the meal. I eat one meal a day, OMAD, one meal a day, because that's what I can afford on disability. And chili has a lot in it. And that's why I choose chili, because I get a good myriad of vegetables, meat, sauce. I usually buy buns, which he said weren't in, but lo and behold, there's a giant stockpile of them. And that's my issue. Now, the other day when I asked for a refund, I said a refund of my complete order. Not the $236 or $246, the complete order. Because I should have gotten those items, and the only reason I didn't was because your driver decided that $5 was not a big enough tip, and he was only going to do half my order and only deliver it halfway. So I don't think the customer service staff understood me when I said complete refund. Because I want to go get my complete groceries like I should have, but now I can't. You gave me the refund for the items that I received, not a complete refund for all of the items. I don't know what is going on with your company, but it seems like any chance I've given them over the last week to make things right, they have gloriously laughed on. So now I'm at the point where I have an incomplete refund. So I got to keep the groceries as a courtesy for the delivery not being done right, the shopping not being done right. And then when I asked for a complete refund, you're just going to refund the stuff that they did get. I should have got to keep that. I should have got to keep the stuff I did get regardless.
Yes. Okay, I really do apologize.
Me becoming an Instacart Plus member the day I ordered this order and to have all this happen seems like an additional slap in my face. To get credits I didn't ask for processed to my Instacart is another slap in the face. And the fact of the matter is this all could have been solved day one, but it wasn't. It seems to me like there is absolutely no value to the customer now or the drivers. It seems like Instacart has gone into self-protection mode because they've seen how much they were losing. And if a person with a grade 3 education can come up with a solution, a very nice solution, why can't you guys? I would assume if you guys want to stop this nonsense with deliveries being messed up and everything like that, maybe you guys could talk to the retailers and see about having them hire shoppers in the store for Instacart and having Instacart boxes made up so that shoppers who work for the store at the behest of Instacart can get the items, scan them through, and pack them in Instacart boxes and have them available for the drivers to pick up, because it comes to my clarity that about 60% of your drivers only have comprehension of about 1,500 English words. I should have known this all along from the first day I had one of your drivers walk up to me and say, "Sir, do you know what the difference between these two coins is?" And I said, "Yes, sir. That's a loonie, it's worth $1, and that's a toonie, it's worth $2. So it's obvious you guys are hiring people right out of the gate, and it would seem like these are the people who are having issues getting their paycheck. I understand why you don't want to rip off Canadians and not give them their paycheck because, our Canadian government might get really mad about that. But to take advantage of hard-working immigrants coming from other countries trying to make a better life and trying to help their families back home and then to withhold their pay or to mysteriously deactivate their account is not right. So
completely understandable, yes.
Here's the thing. I am not only mentally wounded by customer service. Now I'm mentally wounded by every single person in your Facebook group who's looking for help. And now I'm going to help them. So I'm going to be making a series of videos on YouTube where basically I'm going to have text to speech reading out these comments for publication on YouTube. So you might want to tell your customer service team on your Facebook group to stop ignoring the customers, because I'm going to be making these videos. I'm going to be posting these videos, and I'm going to make sure that like everyone from here to China knows that Instacart is ripping off its drivers, ripping off its customers, lying to its customers, lying to its drivers, and making reparation deals with customers, then claiming they misspoke and telling them they're SOL and making them wait 2 days for a legal team, when any person listening to the audio that I sent in would be like, yeah, she just made an agreement to pay him. Whether or not she could process that type of amount is irregardless to the situation. Now, if you work for a company and you tell a customer you're going to do something, in Canada, that's consistent of a verbal agreement, which is covered under contract law. It's a binding contract, binding agreement. If you then don't do that, it's called breach of the agreement.
Breach of the agreement, yes.
Now, it doesn't matter that she's just an employee. When she makes that agreement, she makes that agreement on behalf of the Instacart Corporation. And the fact of the matter is, this all seems like discouragement. The practices that your customer service team uses, the fact that the legal team doesn't call people back in 2 days. Because I've seen it. I've seen people say they were supposed to get called back in 2 weeks. And then they were supposed to get called back in 2 weeks. And then they were supposed to get called back in 2 weeks. The longest case I found was actually 2 years. Messed up.
From us, Jay-Z?
Yes.
From us.
From your legal team. From your legal team.
My goodness.
Somebody had an ongoing matter for 2 years. Now, when somebody reports on your Facebook group that one of the drivers attacked her and she's making a police report, not contacting corporate or corporate not responding to such an incident is victimizing that person again. Under certain laws in both Canada and the United States, re-victimizing a person can in fact be a crime. So I don't understand, if your corporation's not going to do anything to fix the problems because they don't care and they're keeping themselves separated from customer service and all your problems. I'm out an additional $48 if I try to go get my groceries. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know if I can ever trust Instacart again, because now I'm under a 0 tip policy. I won't be ever tipping again, because the fact of the matter is, if your drivers are going to screw up my order because I don't tip, that's exactly what I'm going to do. If I'm going to get bad service under the 100% guarantee because I don't tip, that's exactly what I'm going to do. That would suck for your drivers. That would suck for your drivers. So that means I can't order through your service at all. So now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck without my proper meals for the month and no way to get them. I was so looking forward to shopping at Wholesale Club. I made a YouTube video imagining that I had $1,000 just for fun. I was depressed that day, and that made me happy making that video. And now I look at that video and I think, what a goddamn fool I was. And I really don't know why Instacart, between all of this year and every problem I've had, having it solved with kindness, graciousness, and courtesy, all of a sudden moved into the bleaker side of hell. To have to fight off dark, painful thoughts 3 days into this process was not easy. Matter of fact, it was near impossible. I was not able to do it on my own. And I won't get into how I dealt with it, but I dealt with it. The customer service experience has been attuned to, I don't know, having someone cut me and then dump salt in the wound.
Oh, goodness.
And I'm just sitting here still waiting for a legal team. And, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just continue eating chips and salsa? I don't have my chili. I don't have the hamburger now. I never got the baggies that were in fact in stock, or the plastic containers that were purchased but never made it. So that means the driver decided to keep my plastic containers or deliver them to somebody else. I don't know. Just to go and finish my order myself, I'm looking at an extra $48 charge because of taxis. And above and beyond that, I'm looking at like 3 days laid up in my bed because I'm picking items up off the shelf, I'm putting them in a cart, I'm dragging them down my laneway with a hip that I shouldn't even be walking on. Now, to put in perspective how bad my hip is, every time I need to sit down and go to the bathroom, I have to force the bones to glide against each other and straighten out. I can tell you exactly how that pain feels. It feels just as bad as when I broke my arm as a kid and my teacher decided to put my jacket on, cranking my broken arm backwards and into a sleeve. Yeah. I remember that day. I remember that pain. Because there's something, my brain does not let go of pain. It does not let go of anger. It does not let go of mistreatment. I can remember almost every mistreatment of my entire life.
Everything, yeah.
Do you know how most people start making memories around 4 or 5 years old?
Yes, definitely.
Not me.
Definitely.
Not me. I remember from about 2.
2 years.
Yes. And my life was never pretty. My parents were drug dealing psychopaths who sold speed in Toronto. They had a big black guy come and rob our apartment and steal my dog, which was my best friend at the time. When my mom was pregnant with me, my father kicked her in the stomach around 4 months. And what damage that did to me, I don't know. Not to mention my mom didn't know she was pregnant because she had had her tubes tied and the doctor had failed to do it right. And she had been on speed up until, 6 months. So I'm not a normal individual by any means. And to have this sort of thing happen to me, it isn't a one-day ordeal. It isn't a one-week ordeal. It goes for months long. It takes me months to bury the anger, months to bury the hatred. For someone like me in the situation I'm in now, that makes interacting with anybody 10 times harder. If I so much as open my mouth in the wrong way out in public, you'd think it's no big deal. It is.
It is a big deal. Yes, it is.
Well, beyond that, I'm on a peace bond. I am to keep the peace. If I don't keep the peace, I'm going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
With all this extra stress, I am so afraid to do anything. I'm afraid to leave my home because all this pent up extra anger right now could lead me into doing something that gets me thrown in jail. Your corporation has made it almost impossible for me to get through this next month.
Possible, yes.
So I can't
Really,
go
really
and finish my
apologize.
groceries. I can't make my chili. I have no buns. I have no bags, no bread. I'm going to be eating a box of bacon and tortilla chips.
Mm.
You know, I got a big can of tomatoes. Can't make my chili. I got my peppers sitting there in my fridge. Can't make my chili. I can't do anything. And even if I try to go down and replace the missing items,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at $48 in taxi. This is why the
Really.
other day
Mm-hmm.
I was asking for a complete refund of the total amount of my groceries. Not the final amount, the total. The amount of money I spent that day, I wanted returned to my account, regardless of whether or not items were found, because they were there. The grand total. But every chance I give you guys to make things right is just a joke.
It seems
It is.
to be
It's a
going
joke.
into vain.
And the only reason I called in to tell you this was because I've recorded it. It is now part of YouTube. And rather than walk around angry all day, this was my only option. Get it off my chest, feel like somebody heard me, don't expect any type of response, and just hang up the call. Because I had to do something with this energy, and rather than treat anyone else like shit, I thought I'd just get it off my chest, because now I know I have it recorded on YouTube, and Instacart has a
Mm-hmm.
copy of it.
Mm.
But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead today, now that I'm not frustrated, and I'm going to go make my video, collect comments off your Facebook, have text to speech, read them out, and post it. And post it. And that's what I'm going to do. And I hope Instacart likes my videos. They won't be high quality or anything like that, but it'll give people a chance to not have to read the comments, not have to look for them, find them nice and convenient in one place. And that's my plan. So moving forward, the Facebook customer service staff should know every time they don't deal with a comment, I'm going to. I'm going to make sure people hear it. I'm going to make sure the people in the post feel like they've been heard. I'm going to give them a thumbs up, a heart, whatever it takes. I'm going to try to personalize a comment back to them. And then I'm going to publicize their comments on YouTube in text-to-speech videos for the entire world to hear. And
Mm-hmm.
if I should be ever so gracious to get an editor, I will have him translate these into every language I can find. Heck, I might even do a few dead languages just for fun. I'm sure there's some scholars out there who have learned languages nobody knows, and they'd appreciate at least one video with that language. Well, I'm going to be a thorn in the side of the Instacart Corporation until it starts taking care of its issues and makes me feel like I'm an actual human being instead of some sort of demonic monster. Because when corporations make me feel like this, I literally take upon a new persona. I start calling myself Beelzebub, the Canadian devil. That's literally what happens when people make me feel this way. They make me feel like a demon and a monster. So I literally take on the moniker of a demon, a monster, a devil. And just to put something in black and white, if I was your boss and I walked in and I said, hey, the last 40 hours you worked, you're getting $18 and you're going to like it. Would that offend you?
Yes, it would definitely.
That's exactly what your call center did to me. I spent 40 hours on the phone just to get a complete refund that was not a complete refund. And then when they compensated me for my time, they offered me $18. That's not even as much as you make for an hour. 40 hours worth of my work, and your team decided to insult me with $18.
Mm.
Last time I checked, I am not in a Korean sweatshop. I am not in a Chinese sweatshop. I'm not in a sweatshop. Last time I checked, this was Canada, but God knows that could change. How would it ever be appropriate to offer someone $18 compensation for 40 hours? Now, I'm going to tell you this as a courtesy. You may want to start thinking about looking for a better job somewhere else, because I asked Deep AI to take an analysis of the situation that's going on with Instacart, and it's come up with two possibilities. The corporation may in fact be going bankrupt, or your CEO plans to gut it. Basically, take all the good out of it and just make it into a money-making machine, which is going to bring a lot of hardship upon your staff. It's going to mean an increasing amount of phone calls, an increasing amount of angry customers. And from what I can hear in the background, you guys are dealing with quite a few customers today. I'm going to take a lucky guess and say, compared to the last month to 6 months ago, you guys are receiving a little bit more phone calls. I'm not sure exactly how many call centers you guys have. I'm not sure where they're all located. I'm not sure if these are all in the United States or Canada. I'm not sure if they're hiring outside help, but it often happens. But it sucks not to know that. Like, if you were a Canadian or an American call center, I could have some faith. But if you're a call center anywhere else, how do I know the minute that the Instacart call center shuts down, the scam call center doesn't start up? Because I wouldn't even want to do business with customer service if I thought that that office was being used for scamming in its off hours. And unfortunately, if it's not in Canada and the United States, I have to say there's a good chance that that equipment is being used after hours. And if that equipment is being used after hours, there's a chance that scam people have access to every single Instacart customer's data. That would be scary. That would be very scary.
Very scary, yes.
And how cheap Instacart is getting, I can only imagine that they don't want to pay people in Canada and the United States $18 an hour to answer phones. Now, if you're not in Canada and the United States, if you are in fact another country, I would suggest that you start spreading, basically, if you're being hired by an American corporation, you should be paid American wages. You should not be paid the wages of your country. You should not be paid the wages of your call center. You are, in fact, entitled to the wages of an American. You're doing work for Americans. You're doing work in America. It doesn't matter if you're in another country or not. You should get the same pay as the people in the country you are serving.
You are serving, yes.
Every person that works outside of Canada and the United States that decides to take $5 for an $18 job has literally just stolen work from America, from Canada. The only way it will ever be even is if they have to pay you the same as they would pay us. because then there's no disbenefit. Then they're hiring you because they want to, not because it's cheaper and they're going to save a buck. I do believe the rule should state that you get the pay for the pay of the country you are working for, not the country you are living in. You are being hired by an American corporation. You should be getting an American paycheck. You should be making just as much as every other American at that point. Call centers, sweatshops, every place should be instituting this policy that the people who hire us pay us under the policies of their country. Because exporting work from one country to another is thievery. Unless they're being treated the same as the people in that country, then they're being hired on the merits of their work, not the merits of ripping people off. Because in the end, that's what it is. Americans are getting ripped off, losing jobs because somebody else is willing to do it cheaper, and their company is willing to do that. They're willing to say, you know what, I know we're an American company, I know we're serving the American population, I know we're getting American money, but we're going to hire somebody outside the country to deal with it at 1/10 the cost. That hurts you guys, that hurts us, that hurts customer service, that hurts data protection. Once my data leaves Canada and the United States, it's no longer protected. It could be encrypted to kingdom come, but eventually someday somebody's going to be able to break that encryption. It's just how it works. Every time someone comes up with a new encryption, someone comes up with a new way to break it. That's the cat and mouse game of encryption. Yeah. And these are the things that really bug me about like corporations and countries and policies. And the only reason this exists at all is because people are too stupid to realize we are not individuals. We are an organism. That organism is called humanity. Chopping it up into different countries and segregating it and treating people differently because they have different skin colors or their eyes are different shape is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Again, I have a grade 3 education, but I have a perception level unmatched by any human being alive. My perception can see things that other people couldn't see. Because I can take patterns and put them together and come up with a solution because it's basically deduction. People can say everything they want. There's only one difference between me and every other person on this planet. That's that I am me. There's no difference in race. There's no difference in creed. There's no difference in anything. There's no difference. Well, there is no God. I hate to say it, but there is absolutely no God. The energy that I am consisting with has been here since the starting and it will be here till the end. Energy. Energy. That's it. This is all energy. It decides to take shapes and forms based upon what it can and what it can't. Trust me, if there's ever going to be a God, he's a few million years out. Because God doesn't happen at the beginning of the storybook. Okay? You don't get the end all at the beginning. The reason religion exists the way it does is control, because they don't want anybody to ever achieve becoming God. That probably scares every corrupt individual on the planet. Think about that right now. If somebody just became God in an instant, every evil person, every person that does mean things, every person that ever tried to make money off someone else's back, every person that's been doing something even a little bit wrong, if there was a God here, they would probably be very, very afraid that wrath was going to come down upon them and remove them from this universe completely. And that's the fear that created religion. They were afraid that these people would get too much power and they would think too highly of themselves and they would become God. They would clear out the scourge of war, the wrath of hatred. Trust me, God is a long, long way away. He's in the future, not in the past. He's not someone to pray to. He's someone to become. He's someone that we should all become. We shouldn't be asking for forgiveness for our sins. We should be striving to be sinless. We shouldn't be bowing down. We should be standing up. Religion is just another form of subservience. They want to take your power. For all we know, every last religion is based upon an alien race who has the power to steal your energy if you believe in them when you die. We could be food and not know it. Because people are taught not to think, not to question. They're taught to look at a book of religion and say, oh, this is everything. When it's nothing. Christianity, 90% of their stuff has been stolen from other religions. Do you know, have you ever heard of Noah?
Yes, from the Bible.
He doesn't exist. That story is 16,000 years old. It was about a normal man, Noah, and his fabulous invention, the boat. The original story is only of a man who built a boat after watching a leaf float down a river. Told from person to person for over 14,000 years before Christianity decides to steal it and massacre the people who told it. That's Christianity. That's religion. They see something they want, they take it, and then they make sure that the people that knew about it are gone. That is religion. It's about power and control, and that's it. Because that's what people are. That's what we've been. We need to stop relying on anybody but ourselves, and we have to start striving to be a god among men, a goddess among men. Anything short of that is a disrespect to every single human that's come before us. We should be striving to be way better than we are. Then maybe we would start to understand the fundamental thing about what it is to be God. Because trust me, there is no God in our past. There is no God back there. You look at every bad thing that's happened in that history and tell me an actual God would put up with that, and I will tell you that is not a God, that is a demon. And truly, if there were God, there would be no devil, because I'm sure that even a God would understand he's responsible for his creation. If he made it in his own image, then he is responsible for it, and he would not let it scourge the earth like this. And if you just think about it logically, do you think a God would ever trust a broken, flawed race like us to ever handle his legacy? To hand out his legacy? I don't think so. So tell your people at Instacart to stop ripping off their customers. Stop ripping off me. I'm patiently waiting for your legal team. But if I don't receive a response tomorrow, I'm going to release all wrath upon you. My wrath will be call after call after call until the matter is dealt with. I will piss off every customer service agent I come across, and I probably won't have control of my verbalness. You know, I'll probably be so mad by tomorrow when it rolls around, because it'll be another day that I haven't eaten the meal I wanted to, or the meal I deserved, or anything like that. And I'm probably going to be irate, and I'm probably going to be angry, and I'm probably going to have to, probably not going to get the spaghetti sauce this month, because I'm going to have to go down, spend $48 on cabs just to go get the items I need to finish my chili.
Okay.
This has been a nightmare process. A nightmare. And I'm going to make sure that every customer I can contact, every person on YouTube that I can get to watch these videos, knows that dealing with the customer service at Instacart is akin to taking a sword and trying to shove it up your butthole.
My God. Mm-hmm.
Instacart, I really, really, really didn't need to deal with you guys today. And I'm so stressed out. Alright, let's see. Let's test the first batch. Live test. I gotta go over here. Which is this one? Yep. I think that's the one. Whoa. What happened there? Let's see how this one works. Oh, that's...
Josh Jones. Don't pay these fools. Paid extra to have quicker delivery. And just got bumped back an hour. 8 p.m. delivery to Cook Diner when I ordered at 5:40 p.m. Great job, billion-dollar company. And their customer service department is straight out of basic English class. Good luck getting treated like you valued more than your money they make sure is quickly taken. Stay away. Bah Julio. Instacart has gone insane deactivating innocent shoppers, without evidence or any proof of wrongdoing. People that have been with the company since day one, and they have done an excellent job, keeping maximum standards. This is way beyond illegal. We're independent contractors, and Instacart is making false accusations, which can damage a person's reputation, personal life, and professional prospects, leading to significant financial losses in our personal life. Instacart is in denial of showing proof of these accusations. If you walk to any store, you can see shoppers in every store which are still working. These are people smoking weed while in a batch, people working with someone else's account, people shopping with kids, even making kids work, people working with their pets in the car, 2 or 3 accounts at same time, account that were bought from someone else, account with automatic batch grabbing. A lot of these shoppers are stealing from stores, and so on. So why Instacart have to deactivate people that are showing proof of identity, and legally approved by Instacart? We shoppers demand Instacart to come up with proof, not an intimidating email that doesn't show anything against the shoppers, and reactivate people that were wrongfully deactivated. Karen Smith Simonetti, this is a very corrupt, dishonest company. I have every delivery account out there but wasn't good enough to have an Instacart account. After being a customer for over 5 years, your new CEO destroyed the company. Shannon Flanter deal. Do not order Uber Eats through their app. When your food gets stolen, Instacart won't help, and neither will Uber Eats. Jessica Kifo. This is the most infuriating customer service I've ever seen. Over $19. Really, Instacart? Do better. I have the full conversation, but it will only allow me to post one photo. I took 28 minutes to be escalated to a supervisor who did absolutely nothing. BBB here I come, and it could have been resolved so easily. Gorogani-san, your support ignores all questions and does not help when there is a problem. Lisa Maria Burnett Bush, I have been a shopper for 7 years now. I can't make money anymore with this job. All the bad shoppers make it so hard on we good shoppers. It's like we can't get any offers because of too many shoppers. Lynn McFall, I just placed an order at a grocery store I use frequently and noticed another service fee added for a long distance fee. So as a member I pay for the service annually, and then on a $170 grocery order my fees and tip are over $25. Angie Rivera, for some reason it takes hours for me to get an Instacart shopper, in Clearwater, Florida. I never had this problem in the Adirondack Mountains. Doesn't make sense to me. Shannon Flanter deal. Do not use the restaurant delivery through Instacart. See below screenshots. Uber Eats will refer you to Instacart when your order is stolen and Instacart will refer you to Uber Eats. Neither will help you. Gorogani-san, this app is making fun of its shoppers. You can wait 3 hours and not get a single order. Writing to support is a pointless exercise that won't help, unless after that you get an order with a ridiculous rate. They take the lion's share and throw pennies to the shopper. Juan Ortega, #Instacart discriminates and does not show the same orders to all shoppers. They shadow ban veterans and prioritize illegal Venezuelans who use stolen accounts and cars with no plates. Julian Schwartzman, my mom got deactivated after 5 years of service and 9,000 orders. She gave back to the community and helped senior citizens. She got deactivated due to her age and multiple phones, which isn't true. She is 60. Please help. Fight ageism big time. Kathy C. Thank you Instacart for trying to charge me for a membership when I expressed that I will never use your company. You offered a free trial until November 21st. You lied and charged me a fee for delivery, and never reimbursed me. I got the wrong groceries and I was charged for things I did not receive. I have had nothing but problems. You have poor customer service and you won't allow anyone to talk by phone from the States. And to add insult to injury, you had the nerve to charge me for a yearly fee. Thank God my bank flagged IT. This is fraud. The bank requires a new bank card. More hassle to have to change everything. I hope others are happy with your company, but my experience has caused a lot more stress. Never again, and buyer beware. Alicia Lynn Miller. I've ordered from Instacart 4 days ago for same-day delivery and I still have not received my order. I've talked to about a dozen staff or agents and no one is helping and ensuring my order is completed. They've already taken the money for the order, so I can't just go get my groceries elsewhere as it was my entire grocery budget taken. All they gave me was a $5 credit for this inconvenience and I'm forced to keep waiting. I have children I need to feed. Rita King. It's a shame how the shoppers are being treated. They don't want to pay and customer support representatives lie. Pamela Broyles. This was my delivery. The delivery lady switched out my small order from Walgreens with a small Walmart bag full of smelly garbage. She took a picture of the bag to throw Instacart off. I decided to post what she left on my front porch. Although I received a refund, she should be fired. I know I can't be nor will be the only customer she does this to. Brian Bidwell. Look up Instacart with the Better Business Bureau. Enough said. Madeline Galley. Indeed. After immediately reporting 3 items ordered not delivered or refunded, I received this Instacart letterhead. Hi. We reviewed your appeal request and order information. We decided to maintain our decision to not give you a refund, credit, or redelivery.
Best. The Instacart team. Angie Legvold. How is it that this company pretends to give priority to their best shoppers and at the same time they rotate versions of the app that completely ban their best shoppers from even seeing orders? This is called fraud and shows a complete lack on integrity from this billion-dollar company. No surprise at all at the shady tactics with a former Facebook executive as CEO. Absolutely pathetic business model. Beware ordering from this app or you will be inviting crime to your neighborhoods while they ban your favorite shoppers from getting any order. Preston Cross. I've ran into 4 old customers this last week and they asked me where I have been. I told them that IC doesn't allow me to do their orders anymore despite having a 5-star rating. They said it was nonsense and tired of new shoppers bringing the wrong items to them and whatnot in. They asked if I would be interested in doing their orders off the Instacart platform. Of course I told them, absolutely. Tony Mullay. I have canceled my Instacart membership a dozen times over the last 3 years and every year I get charged $99. I canceled on the AP as directed, I sent an email, I've called. I haven't used the service for 4 years. Angie Legvold. What kind of company punishes its best contractors by giving their work away to people who have never worked for them before? We got you through a pandemic and made you worth the billions you are worth, and this is how you repay us. You have taken away my income right before Christmas, and for what? Change your business model while you still have good people trying to work for you. Your company is riddled with theft and fraud because of how you continue to do business. It is literal insanity. Eleonora Babayants. Angie Legvold. This is the criminal company. I placed an order over 2 years ago which I immediately cancelled. 2 days ago, I received an email thanking me for enrolling into their membership and that they will charge me for this. Never have I asked for any membership or anything from this company. I suspect that they are doing it to many other people. I would like to collect names to start class action lawsuit. Please let me know if you are interested.